So can the girlies like hear me, or I'm just gonna wait for some people to come in. Hold on. Okay. Okay, wait. Valentina, is she getting some snacks? I kind of want to get some snacks too. Okay, I want to say this is not going to be a long video, but it's late. Like we're settling into bed, honey. Like we need some snacks. Okay. So I'll give it like 15 seconds, or I'll give it 15 minutes, and if by like 10 minutes we still chatting, then I'm literally getting another plate of salad. So, oh my god, hey Tyra, hey Valentina, mwah, mwah. Okay, so I'll give like I'll wait a minute till like 11:50, and then we shall commence. We're about to get really messy because I'm gonna propose some predictions. But you need to propose some predictions as well. I also, low-key, I want to turn off like the sound. I don't know, like I don't mind the sound, but I have a feeling that I might want to edit that. Like I might want to like take this video, download it, and then edit it for different things, like different predictions we talk about. So actually, yeah, if the audio and sound are good, then let's chat. Oh my god, I like it. It's so small, it's so quaint. Hi everybody, I'm Q, and welcome back to my tapes. This is a live session. This is like a secret session because I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm gonna say hi to the chat, and then we're gonna start. I'm gonna read some comments. Yes, hey Valentina, hey Tyra, hey. Oh yeah, and then I also love reading comments on my live, so definitely don't feel shy, because I'll definitely like read your comment. Loud and clear. Snacks, yes, go get some snacks. Was not expecting this live. I had no clue I was even doing this, to be completely honest. Tyra, where are you? I think were you the person that said that you were out of the country? Like I could have sworn, like, was that you? Hey, are you still accepting emails for convos or consultations? Yeah, I'm deciding. I would say go ahead and shoot me an email and I will try and get back to you. Oh my god, that's so cool. Definitely, like, when you start, like, definitely shoot us a link and we'll check it out for sure. All right, so today's video or quick live, I think this is going to be quick, I'm not sure. So I kind of want to talk about some 2022 predictions. You guys just go ahead. You could say the most scandalous. You could go ahead and say the most scandalous things, because I'm kind of going to say some things that I'm not sure. I'm kind of joking, but not joking. First things first. Queen Elizabeth II or third, whoever that woman is, I think that woman is dead. Like, I think they're for sure gonna announce that she like passed away. Like, I don't even think she's alive for real. Oh, you're in the UK? Oh, international girl. Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Definitely let us know how that trip is going. Get us some souvenirs. Like, you can't come back empty-handed. Fly back with some fish and chips. But yeah, I definitely think that they are gonna make announcements that the queen, like Lizzie Elizabeth, old girl, is here no longer, unless they are also willing to admit that, you know, we're on like a real life episode of like Castlevania. Like, is she a vampire or what? I just want to know. That's my first prediction. Second prediction, I feel as though Kanye West might get hit with a few restraining orders from Kim. I don't know, and I'm not really into like celebrity teens, you know, like that, but he's a weirdo. Like, he's a creep. Like, I don't know, buying a house opposite from the woman that you no longer live with, apparently, like, allegedly he doesn't, you know, the divorce, like, it's coming along but not fast enough, you know. It's so weird, it's so strange. Like, Kim has been requested the court like just last week, talking about, can I be claimed as legally single, because this guy he doesn't live here. We've already announced our separation. He lives in his ranch house, tourist funded project, with his new girlfriend. Like, what, you know, and now the man is buying a house. Okay, third prediction. We are gonna find out that Pete Davidson is doing witchcraft. We are gonna find out that listen, read my lips. We are gonna find out that Pete Turson Davidson is doing witchcraft on these women. Like, can anybody please explain? I think it's like the moodiness. I think he's tall. It's a 6'3" thing. It's the, you know, I'm dork, you know, I'm a dark guy, I'm brooding, you know, I'm depressed, you know, like, okay, Val, okay, yes, this is coming with some predictions. This is the only place on the internet where you are gonna be able to give a solid prediction, because I'm gonna put in my special Cinderella glitter over this live. We have to make essentially Azealia Banks level predictions. Like, that's pretty much what we're doing here. So don't feel afraid. Tyra says Lizzie is deaf, about to croak. The thing is, like, nobody has seen this woman. Okay, and before somebody brings up the video that they put out of her saying like Merry Christmas to like to Europe, United Kingdom, whatever. Hey Raz, hey, mwah, mwah. Welcome. Make some predictions with us. We're making some 2022 predictions. But that video they put out of her, like, it looks like a deep fake. Moving on. So, yes, about Pete Davidson. Tara says he's just a trend, but I don't think his star power will last long. His star power. I was like trying to say the word. It's so weird. It's just like, why does this guy keep coming up? Like, what is going on, bro? Pete Davidson is riding in Kim's Rolls Royce. Like, what is he putting down? Like, what is going? What am I not understanding here? Hey, do you see the purple diva? Mwah, mwah. So nice that you're here. Yeah, Valentina, I really did think that video that they put out of the Queen of England was like a deep fake. Okay, for new people that just got here, one of my 2022 predictions is that Queen Elizabeth II has been deceased since October, I think. And I literally said, oh no, the Queen Elizabeth video. I don't follow what these royal people are doing. I'm just trying to add in the little tidbits there. But some of my computer science friends who do visual imaging, they were just like, this looks like a deep fake. This literally looks like an NFT. They're putting out NFTs, honey, on CBC. So that's one of my 2022 predictions. Another one is that it's gonna come out that Pete Davidson is, he's slinging something. It's something, But I was saying we're gonna find out this man is doing juju on the girlies, because he has a hold on these women. Like, what is is it that good? Okay, Tyra put a prediction. She says, also, I feel like the Kardashians / Jenners are slowly going to become irrelevant starting 2022. Listen, I don't even know where to begin on some of my thoughts on like on media, you know? But one of the things that I think we're gonna see in hybrid media and entertainment is the rise of East Asian culture. And I know I was talking about this. I'm still formulating some thoughts. I'm still reading up a little bit, but something I've kind of, and I think I actually talked about this with Tyra a little bit, but I was kind of talking to a few people how I feel like it's so odd to even say that we're going to be seeing more of like K-pop. We're going to be seeing a lot more media coming out of East Asia. Some of the popular quote unquote trends or imagery that we'll see, or even music, didn't originate from East Asia. It originated from like some of it Black Americans, and so it's just very strange. It's like it's really, really strange to see like the exported culture, I feel like, being sold back to the Western world. It's very strange, especially because, you know, the BTS, like these big like groups have been large for a while. Like these whole K-pop groups, like, you know, East Asian media has been dominating in terms of like sales and views and streams, etc. But I don't know, I feel like we're really gonna start to see that. And actually, another prediction about 2022, which I feel like some people have already started to discuss, but like as the three Kardashians age, I feel like yeah, they might start to develop different interactions around like the press. I feel like they're gonna take out their BBLs. They're going to start to maybe go closer to fashion or like presentations ideals coming out of like what's hot, which is quote unquote not here. It's like in East Asia. Hashtag the live that I never did called The Curious Case of Arigato Grande, hashtag Ariana Grande, because I was just like, what is going on? Well, also, Ariana, if you are listening to this, I do actually need the contact details of your surgeon. Thank you. Resleon says, man, all this nonsense with Pete Davidson is just Kim and Dash's making excuse salacious opportunity for storyline on a new show. Oh yeah, and that's another thing I was gonna say. So like in combination, okay, so I'm gonna respond to you as well as Tyra. I also feel as though Kim, Chloe are going to like, and I don't watch these people, you know what I mean? It's just like shoved down our throats. You know, this is the longest I think I've ever talked about these people. But I feel like they're going to exit the show where like the younger sisters are going to pick up, like the Kendalls and like the Kylies, you know? And I've even wanted to talk about the Claremont twins, and I feel like that kind of needs its own separate like video. But just like you participate or you're coerced into this hyper conformity, hyper femininity, like this hyper presentation that is not by your own choice, that you are presenting in the way that you are. It's also to survive. It's also to get opportunities to be treated better, to get access to capital. You know, I feel as though when these women age, what happens? You know what I mean? Like when they age, they'll be subjugated to like ageism and how that affects how they're seen as like women, you know, who are deemed as very beautiful and like epitomes of quote unquote beauty, right? So I feel like as they age, it's just like, how do I continue to adjust with that? Which, you know, taking out the BBLs and, you know, reducing the lip filler, which brings me to my next 2022 prediction. My next 2022 prediction is that BBLs are going to fully go out of trend. I actually feel like they're pretty much out. Like they're pretty much out of trend. I don't know, and I kind of want to hear you guys' thoughts on that. I'm gonna read some comments. DC the Purple Diva says, exactly why the Northeast is going on tour on the cultural Northeast to Heartbreak. Love that song. Wait, I think I know who you're talking about. Exactly why Annie is going on the cultural tour. Oh my god, love that song. I have to search that up. Tyra says, I fear they'll start looking more cat-like in a few years. Hey, I don't want to draw analogies, because like I don't know how to explain, like, what is it when people try to, I don't know. what is it when people, like, if you look at Ariana Grande's face, it's not that there are not other people, I don't like this word, like, I just say non-white people who have certain like features. It's just, I don't know, it's just eerie, okay? Like, she looks like a girl who was from like, you know, a town right outside of like the main, you know, towns of like Korea, you know, like a village, not like a metropolitan place, but not quite, you know, city proper, capital proper of Korea. And she ended up being taken in as a child into these, you know, K-pop reformant group camps. She ended up, you know, her group ended up being able to debut, and she ended up, you know, getting the surgery that they asked. Like, she looks like, I don't want to go as far to say that she looks like an Asian woman, but an East Asian woman, but she could. Maybe that's very controversial, so I'm gonna stop there. Like, she definitely looks like somebody who premiered in a K-pop group and then had to get plastic surgery, and now the group is like in Chanel. They've risen. They're going on a world tour in February. Like, it's giving that. DC the Purple Diva said, I never did a BBL. My body is near perfect to me at almost 59. Ooh. Like, and the thing is that, and what some people have pointed out about like how BBLs are quote unquote going out of trend, is that there are people that do look like that do have like a larger butt, etc. Which, reading to Valentina's comment, yeah, BBLs aren't trendy anymore. Yeah, they're not. And something that I talked about in, wow, I don't even remember the names of some of my videos, but one of the videos that I did about, like, you know, the BBL, you know, endemic, is that you have to maintain a lot of plastic surgeries that I don't even think people have money for. So I really do wonder how, like, the pedestrian, like, plastic surgery consumer person is gonna be able to adjust or maintain their body with the trends. Okay, Tyra has a prediction, 2022 prediction. Oh my gosh, did you hear that Beyonce is apparently, she is sourcing vinyls in like gold, purple, green colors. I don't know what she's working on, but she has been on the market. She's been in Shenzhen, honey, looking for vinyl manufacturers. So, and I think I saw one of the samples for the vinyl, and it like the color looks amazing. But Tyra says, I think Beyonce is going to drop an album next year with lots of layering and Destiny Child style harmonies. It's going to give her debut album part 2 to revive the sound of the early 2000s. Okay, Tyra, you have to copy and paste that comment so that we can put it as a, hold on, I'm gonna copy and paste it. Let me like put it on a note of mine. Okay, and then Tyra Rose then says Arigato Grande was giving uncanny valley. I can't explain what is going on with your face. What's going on with your face? Let me stop. I will say though, and I don't even say it in a bad way, like I said, Ariana, if anybody knows this, please give me the name of your surgeon. I'm not joking. Like, please, let's be real. Like, and I said this in the BBL endemic video, like, you know, these different changes could literally mean the difference. Like, your life could change, which is why I kind of want to talk about the Claremont twins. Like, what does it mean to go from being beautiful? Like, you could go outside and see a beautiful person like the Claremont twins, where they were in Bad Girls Club. But like, what does it mean where like, you're coerced into lightening your skin? You are presenting, you get surgeries in this hyper conformitist way, breast implants, you know, body sculpting. Like, what does it mean to look like this? Like, their lives have changed. Their access to capital, they could snap their fingers. You know what I mean? So I don't, you know, I feel like we crack jokes and ting, but there's a method to the madness. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way that I could shame like a woman for getting plastic surgery. We know what it is like. So hopefully, you know, we all understand that it's just teasing. At least, I don't know. I don't have any ill will. And to be completely honest, if I had the money do you know what it means to get treated like that? Like, I definitely would be taking a flight. Let's just say that. I definitely would be taking a flight to South Korea or Thailand or Turkey. Valentina Nicole Jones says, I need to save it for the Beyonce comeback then. I think I talked about this in why aren't like the stars dropping music? Why isn't anybody dropping music? Like, what's going on? Like, why aren't they dropping albums this year? And I think that maybe Beyonce was hoping, I think like these large stars, that they were hoping that this virus thing would have quelled for them to go on tour. I think that's how Beyonce's made like 70% of her money. You know what I mean? To be able to tour, to be able to work on a piece of work, to recycle it, to go on, to have your work featured in different placements, like, it's so hard to do. I think she has the ability to do it. She could go to Disney, she could call HBO, like, she could call the people who make Euphoria, she could call the peoples to get her music distributed. But like most artists, like, they really need some of these physical expositions to complete like the holy trinity of like their music being dropped. So I feel like they're definitely waiting for like the economy to bounce back, you know? So I'm excited, and I'm looking out for that, Tyra. Let me read some comments. OMG, yes, I heard about the vinyl. Like, I saw some of the samples of some of these vinyls. Like, I think I saw the purple one and the green one that they said that she looked at from like some wholesaler, some manufacturer. And I was like, this is beautiful. And I honestly, if she does drop something on vinyl, I might consider getting a vinyl player. Do any of you guys have a vinyl player? I'm curious. Reading some more comments. Valentina says, I have an hourglass shape, and as a Black woman, it was really weird seeing a body type being treated as a trend. Yeah. Rez says, to be honest, as a man, I don't find all the BBL-ish too appealing in most cases where women have gotten this, and it's obvious they just look so unnatural. I think, was it a live with Tiana where she said that, like, I think, if I'm recollecting this correctly, I'm not sure, but there was a live where she said that in real life, like, if she walks around wherever she lives, like in New York, I think she had said that if you see people in real life with BBLs, or at least some of the people that she's seen, it's like, oh dang, like, this is not get it together, Q. This is not the work. You know what I mean? This is not the work. This is not the work that I am seeing on Ingram. Okay, this is not the work that I am seeing on the Instagram. Like, this is like not that work. This is not the type of work that people are boasting about when we hear about BBLs in like more accessible media, like social media. So yeah. I don't know, and I think it's also very uncommon. I think maybe I probably have seen a few people with certain augmentations, but I probably wouldn't have noticed, to be honest. Yeah, and that's kind of something else I wanted to say. It's just so uncommon, I feel. Like, the amount of people who actually can get this sort of stuff done, it's like, it's probably a lot fewer of the population than, you know, we're just overexposed to the imagery. Or certain things that seem accessible but aren't really as accessible. Okay, wait, I actually want to say something else. I also feel like because of how accessible some of these procedures are now, you know, it's just like, I don't want to do something that other pedestrian, petty, peasantry women have access to. When I said I was getting a BBL, I wanted it to be that I could get it. And I feel like now that, you know, it's more accessible, it's like, well, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't want to do things that all the peasantry, poor people could possibly do, you know? Okay, let me go ahead and read some more comments. Oh, I need to save it for Beyonce comeback. Like, okay, tell me about that, Valentina. You said, I love vinyl too. I wonder if she's gonna go on tour virtually or in person. Have any of you guys watched a virtual concert? The only person that I'm thinking of that I've seen like really interesting visuals of how they've pulled off like a virtual concert is this woman named, I think, like Terrell or Tanrell. Like, I think she's also like a sex worker or like a stripper, and like, I don't know, her image comes up so much when it comes to like just photography around like music artists because she just looks stunning, like stunning. I think she has an amazing like creative director. Reading some more comments. Valentina says, I was speaking to a woman the other day who got cancer from her breast implants. Oh my goodness. It's just really sad because like you're saying, the halo effect can change your life. Wow. I think I had, and I don't know if these are the same breast implants, but I did hear like 3 months ago, there was a specific breast implant that got recalled. And so all these women who got the breast implant was from a very specific manufacturer. Their doctor was like, oh dang, we're gonna have to switch it out. So you need to come over to the office so that we can talk about what we gonna do. So Godspeed, and I hope the woman that you're talking about pulls through. DC the Purple Diva, I'm keeping my beautiful brown skin here, no lightening over here. That's where artists make, yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing I want to say. I feel like the age of the music artist is over. I feel like that's a very bland, gray statement to make. I just feel like there's no money in music anymore. There's no money in music. At this point, like if you are somehow, if it is infinity contract, you are signing. If you are signing to a Buzz Lightyear contract, if this is the case, you might as well go into film. At least if at least some of your work, if you make it onto like an OTT platform, so like a Netflix, a HBO Max, a Hulu, a Paramount, CB, I don't know. You know, at least if you make it onto a streaming network, the residuals from the streaming is enough. You know what I mean? It's a solid, sweet check, and you can go home. You know what I mean? I feel like there's no money in music anymore. It was like, and the only reason why I started thinking about this was because was it Big Lotto? It was another artist that they didn't know the OG that was sampled in their own song. They didn't even know who was sampled in their own song. And I was like, dang, they couldn't even prep y'all. Hashtag, where are y'all PR managers? But what had happened was, people were like, you didn't even know that this person, I'm just going to give a name, like Stevie Wonder, you didn't know that was Stevie Wonder's sample. They were like, who? And people were like, dang. And, first of all, I feel like obviously if music is literally your job, at least if it is your own song, you should at least know whose sample was on your own song. And you should be at least prepped to talk about that, at least. But I was reading this one blog or article where somebody had just said like, there's no incentive. You know what I mean? Most of the girlies, like, they want to get into music to parlay into other parts of the entertainment industry. You know what I mean? Which leads me to another prediction, or it's not even a prediction, but I kind of want to say this, and I wrote it down. So I'm just going to be very specific here. I literally wrote it down. I literally wrote down in my notes and I said, wealthy people would never let their kids be entertainers, celebrities, influencers. I don't know. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on that. It's a video. I don't know if we're going to talk about videos in like 2022 at the very end, maybe just a little bit, or maybe I'll just sprinkle it in throughout here. You guys can give me your thoughts. But yeah, I was kind of thinking about that. I just feel like, dang, like this is the only way for some of y'all to really make it. So you start with music, you do your little shtick, then you try to maybe get on some little shows, you try to see if you can become a host for something, maybe you could get into a film, something, anything, so I feel like there's no money in music, and I feel like there's just no incentive to care. Like all of the people who have the resources to give are not maybe giving it to the people who I feel have the ability to make work. Somebody even said this. I don't know. Somebody made this comment where they were like, y'all need to let ugly people sing again. Because if you guys would just let people who are quote unquote unattractive. This person did not say quote unquote. I'm saying that as a general courtesy. And please, I'm not Persephone, okay? I'm not Persephone, okay? Like, I'm not like, you look at me, you turn to stone, like the prettiest woman you've ever seen in your life. Like, please. You look in the lake, you look at your reflection in the water and freeze to eternity. Like, I never said I look like that. I never made those claims. But this person was like, let ugly people sing again. Like, let people who, and I'm at this point paraphrasing what they're saying, but, Yeah. So let me read some more comments. I think CDs will become more popular. Ooh, interesting. Tyra, don't hold your breath. Oh my gosh. DC the Purple Diva. I used to DJ. I have several turntables. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm gonna start like searching DC the Purple Diva's DJ sets. Tyra Rose says Gen Z kids are really into the early 2000s right now, so that's why I think CDs will resurface again. Okay, if I worked with a music artist, I literally would want to help them sell like merchandise where you have access to physical and digital music. Like, I am totally somebody that will buy an MP3 file. Like, when I listen to music, I just want to buy the song. Like, I literally just want to buy the file. And if I ever worked with a music artist, I would literally help design earrings that were like also USB drives that had like the actual music on it, and maybe even like a scan barcode where you could just scan it and like you'd get a link to just like download music, and it'd be like a whole thing. Like, you know, people they're into that kind of retro, futuristic, cyberpunk jewelry, you know, or even, you know, I don't know if you guys saw but those like sound Spotify plaques that have the barcode ingrained with like an image on like plexiglass. Like, that's something that I feel is really interesting, like this mixing of physicals, like physical. Like, I don't have any device, probably except for like maybe a car that has like a CD player. And so I'm just thinking, like, I would love to work with a music artist where I could develop a type of physical that their fans can wear. You know what I mean? The Spotify barcode thing that people do, people started making keychains, people made like plaques, art around like a specific code, maybe linking to a playlist or even an individual song. Like, I feel like there's so many different ways that this generation could experience physicals, and to be honest, that would better support the artists. They're not making money through streams. Like, if I were literally putting out art today, I would have my stuff being sold on like Bandcamp. Like, in fact, fuck Bandcamp. Like, it doesn't, well, Bandcamp is really cool. They really, really help. But like, that is literally how you could be making money. Like, really, really making money. I kind of wish I still had CDs. Valentina says, I've watched Tinashe's and Luna's online concerts before. Oh, and another singer called Roisin Murphy. Ooh, I'm gonna search them up. Okay, come on, recommendations. Oh, Rez, you doing the turntables? Wow, am I behind? Okay, let me speed read. Valentina Jones says, what about the nepotism in Hollywood? I watched an interesting video talking about Drew Barrymore the other day. Oh, okay, another rec. Okay, I'm gonna search that up after this. Oh, I love that. Rez Purple Heart. Aww. Rez says, them fools don't care whose song was sampled. Most folks getting to music these nowadays literally have they have the whole song handed out to them to do professional karaoke. Yeah, people talk about that. Like, some people, they're just professional karaoke people. They're like entertainers, not necessarily like artists. And it's just sad. It's like, how are you not you don't know whose sample was on your song, and this is like a syndicated like legend. Like, you don't know who was on. That's why I just gave the example of like a Stevie Wonder. Like, you didn't know that and somebody would say, well, if they're born in 2000 and like 1999, and I'm like, no, but like, if it's your job, I'd kind of maybe expect you to know a little bit more like about the fundamentals, or at least you could speak to what you're doing in your own music, you know? Tyra Rose says, Caleb parents know what celeb parents know what these industries are. Traps and terrible for your well-being, so it's not worth it. She then goes on to say, I don't mind that I don't listen to music because I think the artists are cute. Yes, it's giving gowns. Valentina says they do that in K-pop. There are some seriously pricey USB drives. Ooh, Ooh, that you can get in K-pop that have exclusive content on them. Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, because no, they are fun. It is fun. Okay, Tyra Rose says, "That's so fun!" Exclamation mark. I think we should bring back with the mini CD that you could get in your cereal boxes. Ooh. I'm gonna search that up. Valentina says, collecting CDs and photo cards is huge in K-pop. It can get really overwhelming trying to keep up with all the merch and collectibles. I have a question for you guys. What are you guys' thoughts on like this idea of community? Like Patreons. Like, you know, I feel like sometimes I talk to people who, you know, I'm like trying not to give away identity, but like, okay, let's say like a TikToker that's really big. Let's say like Shallon. We'll use her. Do y'all know who Shallon is? Some of y'all, do y'all know who Shallon is on the TikTokies and on Instagram and Twitter? Okay, how would you guys feel if she started like essentially her own community where like people would just pay for it? Which on YouTube we would say, oh, like a Patreon. It's like, yeah, like, you know, but like amped up to the max, like things that people really paid attention to. Maybe you guys don't use Patreon, you use like, I don't know, Discord. I'm just gonna use apps that we like know about, and they maybe create exclusive content, or you have a way to interact with her more. Like, what are you guys' thoughts if that becomes what people are paying for? Like, instead of like a Netflix, people just subscribe or support specific content creators, and that's the sort of content they engage with. I feel like obviously there's only so much money people have, so you'd probably have to pick like, you know, 1 or 2 people max, you know, hashtag working class. Let me not project on y'all, but for me, you know, maybe the 1 or 2, 3 people. But like, what are y'all's thoughts on that? Like paying $5 a month. And that's kind of a lot of the content that people just start to consume more and more of, because I feel like, I wonder if that's where we're going, you know? I feel like there's only a finite amount of time that people have, you know what I mean? There's only a finite amount of resources people have. Netflix, you know, they don't always produce the best work. They really do not, you know? I feel like a lot of these film studios are really flopping, you know, which is why I literally wanted to have this live talking about the West Side Story sucks. West Side Story sucks. Stop comparing yourself to Spider-Man. Stop. And I didn't even watch the movie. I didn't even watch Spider-Man No Way Home. But it's like people arguing about why aren't people going to see this in theaters? We'll talk about that soon. First of all, why are you hiring somebody who is literally in the courts right now for being a creep, going to court right now arguing that he didn't harm some woman and assault this girl? Army Hammer, really what are you people doing? These studios need to hire me, please. Like, we could have decided that West Side Story should have gone straight to streaming. And also I feel like we're no longer in the age of, oh, put a famous director's name on it and people watch it. Like, no, it's not 2007. You are Steven Spielberg. Even if Steven Spielberg, like, stop. I think that we're in the age of storytelling. Like, we are in the age of screenplay. If you truly do not have a solid piece of work that is written well, you are not going to survive. Also, movies compete not just with movies, but they compete with television. They compete with games. They compete with books, webtoons. You're competing with a lot of other media that people are in. Music. You're competing with music. You're competing with games. You're competing with like a lot of other mediums. You know what I mean? You have no room for error. It's okay. Some of these books don't need to be adapted. Some of these stories nobody wants to watch. And also, I feel like in this economy, you know, we're poor. Inflation is up 6.3%. Biden is playing on the track. The man should have forgiven the school loans. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what we're doing, like, come June, May. Like, what are we doing? Like, I have no clue. But, like, we're not in that economy. You know what I mean? We're not in that type of economy. You know what I mean? Like, do you know how much money you have to spend to go to the movie theater? You go for the tickets. It's like maybe 12 to 14, depending on where you live. And then maybe there's popcorn, there's refreshments. Like, it's a lot of money that the average, the majority of people cannot quite afford. So like, if also we're in a panorami, you know, panini press pizza. So I'm also gonna risk my life? Is it crack? So I just feel like the selections from some of these studios for some of the work that they're coming out with, you need to do better, like pretty much, or else go straight to streaming. Like, go straight to streaming, girl. And even some of these streaming networks, they need to be careful putting out consistently bad work. Hashtag Netflix. Amazon Prime, I feel like they're kind of gaining up. They're like a silent, like, I want to use the word killer, but like, you know, they're like a silent killer. Like, they're coming up. Like, Amazon Prime is giving some people some money. Amazon is giving some artists some money. They're giving some people who will make some good work some money. We'll talk about it soon. Let me read some of these comments. They do that in K-pop. USB drives that you can get that have exclusive content on them. Valentina Jones says collecting CDs, photo cards is huge in K-pop. Ooh. Oh my gosh, I literally want to make a YouTube video talking about how, like, I feel like some of these creators, you should not get involved with NFTs right now. I have a lot of thoughts. I have so many thoughts we are going to discuss. But let me read some of these comments. Rez says a lot of artists put on their album on vinyl with the voucher code for a digital copy. Ooh. Via, hey, mwah, mwah, welcome. I definitely can see CDs that have exclusive content in the album booklet being a thing. Tyra Rose says, I think NFTs are a phase. I think NFTs are money laundering. I think some of these people are money laundering through crypto, which is why Biden and them, the CIA, got so tired of arguing and trying to find what people are transferring over Monero and all these other, you know, even though, like, for example, outside of Monero, like, other transactions are public, you know what I mean? So like Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. And after all the schemes that some of these people were running, IRS was like, okay, fine. If you send somebody more than $600 in a transaction for like a vendor, you have to claim it on the IRS. You have to request a W-9, and then you have to give us a 1099. You have to send us a 1099 because we're not fucking stupid. And we're also going to tell your fucking banks that any of these bozos that receive or send out 600 biggie bucks, you must tell us who and what they are, and we'll just sit on the information. Y'all know how the IRS is. IRS was like, y'all tried it. So Tyro says, I think NFTs are a phase, made up scarcities that don't work like they used to anymore, especially in the digital world. And then Rest says ditto. But the hype is enough to make money, and making money is enough to keep the ball rolling. Only a certain amount of people are making money though. I kind of want to link a video, of this guy on YouTube that literally made a video, and I was already tracking what was going on, but like some of these people and some of these larger quote unquote NFT projects it's essentially like, if this was regulated by the SEC, some of these people who were running some of these NFT projects would have gone to prison, because they are essentially like inflating the price. It's called when you purposefully, work with like a group of people to like inflate the price, have other people buy into it, and then you cash out. But there's actually somebody that I'm looking for, because he literally made a video Philion on YouTube. He had this video talking about Gary Vee and how he, with a few other multi-million people, essentially participate in what is like duplicitous and unethical behavior and illegal. Like if it was regulated, they would have had a case. And in fact, okay, here's another prediction. 2022 prediction number like 6 or something like that. I think that the IRS, like with the IRS running out some of these new, policies on like, yes, we can see these little transactions you doing, and yes, you do have to pay tax on it. We're not fucking stupid. Are you dumb? Is it crack? Like, what? Like, what is it? I think that they are gearing up to make an example out of some people. I think that like a few agencies like the SEC, IRS. Like, I think it's going to be some big bust where they are going to start to make some examples out of some people running some of these schemes in crypto. And actually, to even go further in that and to expound even more on that, and I'm not, because like it's too short of an explanation, it's too surface level to dig into it. There are some articles that I obviously can't pull up for you guys right now. I feel as though they are watching what's going on, and I feel like the government will step in when too many like working class people put their money into crypto. It's not like a backed security, you know what I mean? Coinbase is not FDIC insured, I think. I mean, they do have insurance, but it's just like these apps where it's like some of these card apps. I don't know if Chime is like, if this is the case I'm just going to give an example, like Chime or something like that. I don't know if the banking partner that they're using or the way that it's set up is such that if all hell breaks loose and all the money, washes away, if the government is prepared to get you your money back. Like, you can do that with a bank. You'd have a case for, like, if this happened at a bank, you know what I mean? And I'm not defending banks. I'm just saying it is backed. And I feel like what could happen is like either the price of some of these cryptocurrencies would just like drop or something like that, and maybe a lot of poor people, a lot of working class people who put a lot of money that they probably should not have been putting in, they're gonna get upset. I think all hell will break loose. Like, something will just happen, I think, with the people who do majority of the labor, where they're like, okay, well, now we're gonna have to step in because we're just gonna have to step in. Valentina says, I grew up online. I got my first computer at 10, so I'm a big online communities. Ooh, Valentina, we gotta chat. Valentina, we have to chat. I'm like taking note of this. Y'all know I remember stuff. DC the Purple Diva says, yeah. Valentina Jones then says, people are gonna go back to setting up their own website. Ooh. Okay. Prediction number 7, 2022 prediction. Valentina says, people are going to go back to setting up their own websites. She then goes on to say, back to when we first started blogging on Blogspot and pre-Twitter. And then Tyra says, I feel like it's going to be the whole virtual currency thing, like Dogecoin, and all that jazz. They aren't real or sustainable except for Bitcoin. I see that as more sustainable. Valentina Nicole Jones says, do you have any thoughts on those Netflix video games you can download on your phone? I don't know. I think like right now they're still battling with like Apple right now. So like some of the things that these people want to do with the whole like rolling it out, I was reading this article that they're kind of stuck on like Apple's policies just because of like the Play Store. So it's like a lot of like, these companies right now are at the grip of Apple. But in terms of just like answering your questions, like I don't mind. Something I would love to do with Netflix? I would love to like interact with the show with other people. Do you know what I would love to do at a movie theater? I'm just going to use a show as an example, like The Witcher. I would love for a show, or like Castlevania, or like, I don't want to say Singles Inferno because I haven't started watching that. But like, I would love a show on Netflix. I would love to watch it in theaters and interact with people. Like, I don't know what that would look like. Maybe like a choose your own journey, something. But I think like the games, like just making a gaming division and making games based off of content that people already watch on the platform is actually really genius. The gaming industry is huge. People love to game. So, yeah. Rez says, Roku, you might be onto something with the content creators getting the money like streaming services, but things are already becoming more cable-like, and that's tad cringy. I definitely, okay, prediction 2022, number 8. I feel like maybe more streaming services might have to consider bundling, or there might come out with more and more services or apps where like you can share passwords with your friends. Like, for real, like people can't pay for everything. So I think what's going to happen is, unless they decide to bundle, I think we're just going to keep seeing more and more friends, families sharing like whole scores of passwords. Like Hulu, you got Paramount, you got Amazon Prime, you got Netflix, you got HBO. Like, I feel like more and more people are going to keep sharing passwords because it's like, we can't afford this. It's coming up to like $150 a month. Like, this is cable. So y'all better figure it out. So I feel like we're gonna see more of that. Valentina says, did you see Army Hammer's relative's TikTok account? No, I have not. Honestly, all I'm gonna say is that a few people did not make good enough bets. But Army Hammer, he comes from an affluent family. I think also some of the people from his direct, I think like dad's side or mom's side, they're also within the entertainment industry. So that was even how he got a lot of his opportunities. You know what I mean? But it's like, you guys did not bet well, I have a question for you guys. Speaking of like the film industry, what do you guys think about Zendaya? Like, what do you guys think about, like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what happened in the past like 6-7 months, and obviously, I saw Zendaya on Disney Channel, Shake It Up, but like, she's huge. You know what I mean? And I don't know how to explain what I'm witnessing. Like, Zendaya is like huge. Like, she's huge. You know what I mean? She's like a huge like person. I feel like people know who Zendaya is. And like, they will literally put Zendaya in like a film for like 4 minutes just because she's Zendaya. Hashtag Dune. Like, they did that with Dune with Timothy Chalamet. They did that with Timothy Chalamet. They put her in for 4 minutes. She was on set for like 3 days max. So what do y'all think about Zendaya's like rise to fame? Like, rise. I guess sometimes it makes me sad because I'm just like, dang, like, there's so many talented people. Like, I want like, if there are people that have talent that can still rise, then I would love to see people rise. Okay, let me read some of these comments because I know y'all. Deetha Purple, yes, have a good evening. Bye. Jumping off, yes. Thank you. And I'll probably be ending soon as well. Oh, Valentina says, oh, also apparently Patreon is setting up their own native video service. Ooh, I'm gonna look into this. Tara Rose says these film studios are out of ideas and they have been in the past 10 to 15 years. That's why they're hiring more POCs for fresh ideas. Yeah. Valentina says, I'm on Clubhouse a lot. And actually, yeah, I will get to the bottom of these comments and then I'll end. Okay, I'm on Clubhouse a lot, and there was a professional announcement about it, and they were talking about it in a tech newsroom. Ooh. Tara Rose says Amazon Prime has more gems, but they need to work on their algorithm more so that we can easily see the more, find the good stuff. Bye, DC the Purple Diva. Mwah, mwah. Valentina says, also, people need to stop stealing art off of DeviantArt to make NFTs. Like, sick. DeviantArt even set up an alert system so artists can find out if their art is being made into an NFT without their permission. Like, just the antithesis of what they were even trying to stand for. Taro says, I've heard that's what you call a pump and dump. Thank you. I couldn't find, I was like, pump and dump. Like, there's a word for this. Like, thank you. Taro says, I've heard that's what you call a pump and dump scheme in regards to people pumping up and inflating the price of like an NFT to get normal consumer people to put money into it just for them to sell it off and then for them to make all the money. Of course, the NFTs are worthless. So, yeah. Nelson says, going to the cinema isn't that expensive. It's a night out. Film itself irrelevant most of the time. I think you live outside of the US. No? I think if I'm remembering that correctly, you're from Italy, right? Yeah, in the US, yeah, we struggling here. Yeah, we kind of struggling here. I actually think like some theaters though, I've always wanted to go by like a drive theater, like the one you can drive in. I think that'd be so cool. Yeah, I definitely think there's some independent like theater houses that are a lot cheaper, a lot more affordable. Tyro says, I think cinemas will start investing or starting their own streaming service as like a third party to watch new releases to compensate for low attendance if they haven't done it already. I have so many thoughts about like the film industry and where it's going, because something I can't agree with about like the whole it's called like Walt Disney Pictures, Sony Pictures, oh my god, it's like the big five. It's like the big five or big four conglomerates in film, how they ate up the music industry and how there's nothing good anymore. Like there's nothing good anymore. You can't find nothing. You can't, like, independent work or mid-budget films cannot come out. Like, we can definitely have a conversation on the microeconomics of film and how diversity of art is not allowed to be put out. You know what I mean? Because, like, the theaters want to make money. They already don't make money. You know what I mean? So we can definitely have that discussion. I have so many thoughts. So many thoughts. Valentina says, I really am looking forward to speaking with you, and also you could explore the content of Easter eggs and rewarding the audience members who pick up on clues. Oh my gosh. Which reminds me, what did I eat today? Okay, yes. If you made it this far, put an apple emoji. Put an apple. I had peanut butter. Put peanut butter. A drink. You know, I drank something today. Some water. Put any of those emojis, like a fruit emoji, an apple emoji. I think I had peanut butter. Chocolate. I had chocolate chip cookies. So yeah, you can put any of those emojis if you made it this far. Thank you so much. Red said, remember when Netflix did have one or two choose your own adventure shows, Bandersnatch or something like that, and there was also Mosaic. I haven't heard of that one, so I'm gonna check that out. Yes, I did, and it was like a hit. I feel like people really liked the interaction. Valentina says, I really like Zendaya, so I'm biased. Like, yeah, I don't know, explain it. It's like, dang, like, girl, you really came in, like, wow. You know, I feel like we're gonna have to really look at what Zendaya has been doing with this career of hers, man, because she got really lucky. Like, a lot of people leaving, like, Disney, it doesn't work this way. I think she got very lucky. I think she got very, very lucky, like, with the roles, with the movies, like, really lucky. Like, is it also because she doesn't talk that much on social media? Is it because she's private? Is it because she has, like, she pulls the Beyonce card a little, so she doesn't talk about herself? She doesn't really try to give controversial opinions. She doesn't really want to comment on anything. Like, I was watching this Vogue, 73 questions. The person was like, this guy was like, oh, who's your biggest inspirations? Like, Beyonce, Rihanna, Michelle Obama. I'm like, girl, this YouTube video was made in 2021. We gotta find some new people for you. Obviously, like, I have nothing wrong with Beyonce and Rihanna, I'm just saying, like, you can just tell, like, it's very much like PR training, not talking about nothing. So what I was trying to say in response to what you said, Valentina, like, I really like Zendaya, so I'm biased, is like, do we think that a part of the way that she has been able to progress in this society, especially her acting career, is because she's not like a blank slate, but like, and it's not that we don't know stuff about her, it's just, because everything's quiet, like, she doesn't say too much, she doesn't comment, like, she doesn't really get at anything, she just works, she just goes home, she has her, her life and her dog, her lemon tree, and Tom Holland. Also, another prediction, 2022 prediction. Well, I mean, Tom Holland, he can't, because he signed on like 4 more movies with Phage, the guy who runs Disney Marvel. But like, I think Tom Holland, he wants to be a house husband. He wants to make a family. He wants to have kids. Like, Tom Holland, there was this interview he did a while back. He said he didn't want to be 30-year-old playing Superman. Oh my God, Spider-Man. Like, I feel like Tom Holland, he not trying to be in the game like this. Like, he's made his little coin, and now he's like, I'm about to be a city girl, material girl. I'm about to be in Zendaya's house. Like, I'm chilling, making lemon juice. So I wonder how that's gonna go. You know what I mean? But I mean, he did sign on for like 4 more movies. But I feel like Tom Holland, like, I don't know, he's not trying to be in the game like that. So I wonder what he's gonna do about all that. Nosian says, online games are addictive and time consuming, like TikTok on roids. Yeah, I gotta be careful. I know that the moment I download like Sims, it's over. I know the moment, did you hear me? The moment I download Sims, it's over. It's over. Ooh, Valentina Jones says, I'm rooting for Brie Runway. I am. Tyra Rose says, Zendaya just has old Hollywood pull, unlike all the other actors. It's not common anymore. Yeah, like, it's the combination of, let me just do my work and go home. Like, I don't need to know too much. Nobody needs to know too much about me. Like, just go home. She even said, I was even reading this one, old interview where she said that she got out of music for reasons, but one of them was just like what I said earlier, there's no money in this shit. Like, you're not paying me enough for the amount of headache that I'm about to go through with this label. entering some infinity and beyond contract. Like, it is not worth this. Like, it's not worth it. No privacy, no life, struggle, strife. Like, hell no. Fuck that. I'm going into film. I'm gonna just double down on my film work. You know what I mean? But yeah, is that what it is? Zendaya, she just doesn't, she's like, you know, Mysterioso, PR trading. Let's just say what they want to hear. Go home. Take your money and go. Be in Dune, get paid $3 million. Be in the Spider-Man, get paid $15 million. Like, and just go home. And just go home. Nobody needs to know about me. Which is why sometimes I even think, like, I'm glad the Tom Holland, you know, relationship has worked out well for her. But, like, I know she was sick. Like, I don't want to talk about my relationships. I don't want y'all knowing who I date. Like, it's none of anybody's business. I know, like, that was like a really big, like, wow. Really? How did y'all find out I was coming out of my house, getting into the car with this man? Like, I feel like, I wonder how she does feel about that, because I know she is private. So yeah, Tyra was like, you know, Zendaya just has an old Hollywood pull unlike other actors. I don't know if that's what you meant. I think there's a few things with that, but I definitely think it's a part of that. Rez says Euphoria was major for Zendaya. She's a good actress. Plus the movie with Denzel's Washington's son was good too. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Apple, okay. And then once I get to the end, Valentina Nicole Jones says, Zendaya is well balanced. She's quiet, but not boring. Talented, but not obnoxious. She fits in when it comes to body image and colorism. The right balance. You know what I mean? And I think she also has a solid team. Like, J-Law, I think, is her her stylist. Like, her styling has completely changed the way I feel like we also perceived her. Like, her accessibility into taste and style and pieces because of, like, her body size and her skin tone has really helped her out. Like, really helped her out in terms of building a fan base. Oh, thank you. No, see. Oh, yes, green apple. Okay. And then Valentina Nicole Jones says, also, it's interesting because there was a show on Netflix about a black stylist, and he spoke about how fashion houses kept rejecting Zendaya, which obviously isn't happening anymore. Wow. He was her stylist. His name was Jason something, I think. Jason Bolden is his name. Ooh, I'm gonna search him up. So yeah, it's very ironic. Like, you want your style to pop. You want somebody to really see something of your fashion. You want Zendaya to be in it. You want her to wear your clothes, you know? So yeah, those are some 2022 predictions. So let's just recap. What were some 2022 predictions that I went over? I think thinks that, you know, Elizabeth, you know, the second, the royal girl, the queen, I think that woman has been, you know, I think she's been deceased since like October. And I think like the only reason why they probably don't want to announce it is, I guess, everybody's going to be in quote unquote mourning. Was that shady? No comment. Let me continue. So I think that they're probably going to announce it around like January, February, possibly. I could be wrong. These are predictions. These are like Azealia Banks predictions. Like, we have to be bold with it. You know what I mean? We have to be bold. Second prediction. I feel as though, you know, Kanye West might get hit with a few restraining orders, because he's kind of being a little strange right now. You know, like, we're all supposed to forget that he didn't want anything to do with his kids, and he was in that ranch of his. Like, you know, he flew like halfway across the country to be in a ranch tourist advertisement in Montana, you know. So that's another prediction. Another prediction is, I feel like the industry of film is changing a lot more, and I just wonder what some of these studios are gonna do. Fourth prediction, I think that, like, you know, there's not a lot of money in music, and so I feel like we might see a lot of people who are in other forms of media or music try their best to pivot. That's why, sweetie, I don't know what the hell that girl doing. Like, if you can't be extraordinary, girl, use what you have left and get out the game while you can, and stop with all these mid performances, please. There are a couple of more predictions, you know. Let me see. A couple more predictions here. Predictions number 5 is that, some people feel like the Kardashian and Jenners are slowly going to become irrelevant starting in 2022. Another prediction of mine is I feel like we're going to see an emergence of like culture or music or actors, a lot of people just coming out of East Asia, like K-pop. We're going to see more of that. We're going to see people trying to like emulate some of their stylings or music or things, which I said is a little hard to explain just because some of their stylings, music, and trends right now come from Black people in America. Another, let's see. There will be more. I'm going to write all of these down. So yeah. Wow. This has been another one of my tapes. We'll be in touch. Okay. This is something I've been thinking, and I think that I'll say this and then I'll leave. I don't want to say I'm having a creator's block. That's not what's going on. But I'm like resisting the urge. I'm like trying hard. And I don't think it matters. I don't think I care per se, but I don't want to make, I don't know how I feel about talking about topics that are in the news. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to necessarily be a siren chaser, and I wouldn't mind. Like, does that make sense? I don't mind talking about, like, I really don't think I even care about talking things that are relevant today. You know what I mean? I don't think I care. It's just, it takes time. It takes time to like film, edit, and then of course like there might be some things that I'm thinking of and I want to edit it in there. There's some things that I kind of want to try out with editing that are like more traditional, so like around video essays. I want to make longer content. Does that make sense? I don't mind making content or videos that are like an hour long, just because sometimes I come to YouTube for that, Sometimes I come to YouTube to watch some longer pieces of work, just because I feel like there's some interesting people on the YouTubes. Like, I want to see some content on YouTube. And I feel like for the content creators that I watch that maybe make like 15-minute videos, 10-minute videos, 12-minute videos, maybe I just want to eat it up. I just want to eat it all up. What do I want to say, or what is it that I'm also trying to say? I don't want to say I've also been going through a creative block, but I wonder how it might be if some of the content that I make might take a little bit long to produce, and I wonder if I will get a fear of putting it out. Like, do you guys know, also, RIP to bell hooks. There was a video that I made like back in like June, August that I had finished. I edited in August talking about why you should cherish friendships. Not like more than your boyfriend, but like your friends are here to stay. Boys are temporary, friends are forever. That's a good title. But I literally talked about, like, I literally went through discussing some articles that I had read back in like March, talking about, the different sociological and psychological effects of having friends in your life and what it means to experience a more unconditional love than maybe the men in your life. And it's just like 15 minutes. I think I had finished editing it. I made a thumbnail for it. It's done. It's literally been sitting like in the content roster. I don't know how that makes me feel. You know what I mean? I'm just like, why is this still sitting here? What am I waiting for? And so I think that's like a question I've been asking myself. I'm like, what am I waiting for? Like, what is my hesitation here? Is it views? Do I care? Like, do I? Like, I don't think so. So I don't understand. Like, there was a video that I think I was gonna deny it later, but I put out a video. I published a video that I had made actually more recently, talking about let me just double check the name. Hold on. It was that you're not untalented, you're just poor. I put it out, and then I was like, let me private it. I don't know what, like, and actually a few people were like, why I could have sworn I saw a video like of you talking about having talent but not having resources, or like you're not talented, you're just poor. Like, where's the video? Like, what happened to the video? I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to say. Am I scared? Like, I don't think so. But I don't know why I'm hesitating. You know what I mean? Like, there are things that I want to talk about, but I wonder, is it too... Yeah. So I kind of want to read some comments, because like I think I saw something there. You know, Tyra said, you know, you should make things you enjoy. Making content you enjoy. I feel like the list of things that I want to talk about just keeps growing. Is it that I need like a poll? Is it that I need to make a poll? Obviously, you guys know I haven't hit like 1,000 subscribers yet, so I can't make a poll yet. But is it that I need people to help me choose what to make? Like, what do you guys want to see? Maybe that's also something I'm asking myself. Like, I want to make content that I enjoy. And I think, you know what? I'm glad. I think I'm grateful. I make things that I think people also think about. So for that, I am grateful. But yeah, I feel like I've been hesitating, you know? And there are things that's already done. Like, it's already done. I just, for whatever reason, I don't know. I'm just kind of sitting on it for some reason. Which is why a part of me is wondering if I should just go live more. If that will just make it better. Like, just go ahead and just talk. Don't even film the video. Just like talk about it and then just get it out of the way, you know? So I kind of want to discuss a few video topics. Not discuss, I just want to read off the list of some things that I've just been writing down. And then I'm also going to read some of you guys' comments. And I'll probably end it there because y'all know how I like to talk. So literally they're just like working titles of videos that I've started to write stuff for. Wealthy people would never let their kids be entertainers, celebrities, influencers, etc. You know, you wealthy, your family, you know, hashtag succession tease. Like, how could we amass all this wealth for you to be failing on stage sets? Hashtag sweetie. You know what I mean? What type of money do we got? Well, I don't know if her family is wealthy like that. You know, they're rich, but I don't know if they're wealthy. I kind of wanted to discuss that because it's just like, what are we doing? Like, I even wanted to discuss like something I was reading about wealthy families in Korea, which there's a certain name for it, but essentially they're apparently people that are direct descendants of like royalty. You know what I mean? Which of course they still have the wealth. Of course they're still wealthy. Of course they still have the wealth. You know what I mean? So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, it's like they don't want their kids being entertainers or K-pop people. If their children were to say, oh, I want to become a K-pop person, they would look down on a career like that. Like, what it is, what do you think you're doing? Why do you want to become the commodity? Like, we own the means of manufacturing. Like, we literally have blood money. Like, why would you be doing all these shenanigans? You know, so I thought that was kind of interesting. And I was like, oh, maybe I want to talk about it. I had this live that I thought I was gonna go live called like the 12 hot takes of Christmas, because I want to do some hot takes. I want to get spicy. I just wanted to talk to you guys. I was just thinking of a good excuse to like come on. Hashtag 2022 predictions. A video talking about the Queen of England is not alive anymore, ? Like, oh girl, y'all need to stop putting up NFT deep fakes on CBC. Another topic was The Witcher on Netflix is what people want to see on streaming networks. I just wanted to talk about, because it was around the whole talk about, you know, Spider-Man, and just this whole discussion around film and theaters, and I'm like, you guys don't get it. Like, some of the stuff that we are not, you can't just say, oh, Steven Spielberg is making this film, Guillermo del Toro is making this film, so go see it. Like, are y'all on crack? Are y'all on crack? That's not, what type of economy do you think we are in? What type of, I'm getting popcorn, okay? Extra butter, water. One of my peoples of the familiar, they might want to get a slushy. Like, that shit is 30, 25 bucks, 23 bucks. Like, it's at 15 bucks maybe. You know, a water, maybe a small popcorn and a ticket. Like, you know, it's expensive, babes. Like, we need to see some explosions, some death, cries, tears, sex, something. You know, it's not enough. And I essentially want to make a video just talking about, like, we are in the age of storytelling. Like, we are in the age of screenplay. Like, the pen. You need a good pen. Like, it's not as though people aren't making good words. And I think Tyra, it's either you, Tyra, or Valentina who said this. That, like, people they have been flopping for 10 to 15 years, and they keep trying to bring back ideas or reboots, and it's just like, and that's why at this point they're just turning to like the POCs. They just turn to the non-white people, like, what do y'all got? all the people who never had access to make their art a reality, now they're just throwing money at them because they're like, listen, listen, you got the plan, we got the platform. You got the plan, you just needed the platform. You know what I mean? So I feel like studios, even if it's a good piece of work, even if somebody wrote a really good book, you're not just competing with like films in theater. You're competing with streaming. You're competing with video games. You're competing with music. You're competing with webtoons, with Wattpads. You are literally competing with YouTubers and TikTokers. You are competing. Like, there are so many people creating interesting things. Like, you are competing. You know what I mean? You can't just, it's not even like, the screenplay really is the bare minimum at this point. And I feel like we will see, hopefully, better screenplays come out. They will rise to the surface, which is why I also want to make another video. Oh my God. I wanted to talk about, where did I put it? I wanted to talk about how, like, let Azula be evil. You know what I mean? Like, Azula was an evil person. And let that girl be evil. I also wanted to make another video talking about how, like, I almost feel like Avatar Studios is a mistake. I want to talk about, like, Avatar The Last Airbender universe. And I feel like Viacom CBS, hashtag Nickelodeon, they already tried to screw those creators over. And I'm nervous. You know what I mean? The Netflix, I almost don't want to see, like, I saw some of, like, the leaked, there's like a friend. Oh my God. I've seen some of the casting. I know we've seen some of the casting, like, publicly, but there's also some stuff that hasn't been dropped. And it makes me nervous, you know? And I'm just like, it's okay if we let it end. Like, don't these writers have any other story? You know what I mean? Like, because y'all were not able to nail this the first time, you know? Like, maybe we need to reconsider, you know, especially because the writers are not on the project anymore. And so I just feel like the creators were not on the project anymore. So I'm just like, it makes me nervous, and it almost makes me want to say, like, maybe we don't want to do this. So I want to talk about Azula as well, just because I'm like, it's okay. Like, Azula was an evil, twisted individual. And I was just seeing some talk at the time about how, like, oh, Azula, you know, she could, redemption arc. I'm like, there's no redemption. Like, Azula should never have a redemption arc. Like, let the girl firebend and be menacing like the girl she is. Like, she's not well. Let her be the war criminal that she is. Like, come on now. So I thought that was interesting. I wanted to talk about it. So yeah, another title I want to talk about, like, everyone wants to watch Marvel's Spider-Man and not West Side Story. Like, y'all need to stop crying on these internet. Stop vomiting and snotting and sliding up the walls. Like, stop it. Like, get a grip. Especially because of the people that think about hashtag Army Ham. Like, what are you people doing? Like, come on now. Nobody wants to see that, man. Of all the people you guys could be doing West Side Story, please go and find another cast. Like, what did I say? And then I kind of want to talk about, yeah, like, just how the recession made Disney a huge success. Like, how, like, Universal Pictures, Paramount, Warner Bros, Walt Disney, and Columbia, like, the big five conglomerate in film, like, they have really just, like, some would say ruined, and I think, yeah, like, we can discuss that. However, the consumers are not to blame, you know what I mean? Just because we don't sit on the board, we're not sitting with evil Mickey. Like, you know, yeah, are we all watching Spider-Man? Yes, but, like, we weren't in the boardroom doing acquisitions and making sure that small artists couldn't make their work. Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, so yeah. I also want to talk about some anime that I watched. So yeah, I think I'm gonna make a live just for that, because there's a really interesting show that I watched and I just want to talk about it. And of course, The Curious Case of Arigato Grande, the rise of K-pop in the US in 2022. Creators should not be selling NFTs. The girl bossification of Black women in tech, hashtag career luxuries, and oh my God. I don't want to say too much. Question. Black people in tech, do we think that that's propaganda? Like, I feel like there's just been an overt push of this messaging, and maybe I have questions. And it's going to be really ironic. If you know who I am, you'll know why this is probably a little ironic, but I don't know. I feel like people are omitting information. I feel like people are omitting details about what it even means to work in that industry. And you know, not everybody's making six figures. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know. So that's something I kind of wanted to talk about. So yeah, I think that's it. I kind of wanted to talk about I wanted to deep dive into the mysterious world of Letterboxd. If you guys know that website, like, what is Letterboxd? Like, what is it? You know, I also want to talk about how Mattress Firm could be a money laundering front. And yeah, revisiting the industry on HBO Max, and then revisiting Joji and the rise of 88 Rising. So I kind of wanted to talk about that. And then of course there's like all these other video ideas that I changed the highlighted color, which means that it's probably not priority. So yeah, at this point, let me read your comments and I'll let you go. Okay. Tyra Rose says, make content that you enjoy. Thank you. Oops. Sorry, you guys can't hear me. Sorry. Tyra Rose says, make content that you enjoy. Valentina Jones says, I think it all comes down to the kind of community you want to build that helps shape how you form your content. Rez says, maybe going live and chopping up the moments are flow yeah, Rez, you're reading my mind. You're reading my mind. You're reading my mind. Like, you know what I mean? I literally thought about that. I was like, how about this? What if I just go live? I just write out all the topics. I take some notes. Y'all know I love you guys know it's messy. So what I'll probably do is I'll talk about the topic for maybe 10 minutes and read y'all's comments as I go. And then after 10 to 20 minutes, I'll go ahead and read your comments and we'll have a Socratic seminar. I'm a nerd. I'm such a nerd. Oh my God. But yeah, we could literally just talk about it so that I would have the first 20 minutes of a live that I could just download the whole thing after it's done rendering, chop and screw it, add some graphics, and maybe put some of these moments out as different clips or flicks that people could just watch standalone. 5 minutes of me talking about this, 10 minutes of me talking about that. Raz, I feel like you're reading my mind, because this is something that I thought about. I was like, maybe I would feel a little bit better, or coming into that flow of consciousness that I feel like I'm having, but for whatever reason, I feel a little shy. That maybe if I went live, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable just discussing and having fun. And then I could just download the footage, do edits if I'd like, but at least I have the source up, so that the discussion had been had, you know what I mean? So I like that. I feel like you're reading my mind, which brings me back to Valentina, the community, depending on how do you want to shape or form your content. So that was a really nice pairing of content. And then Rez then goes on to say that having a set of real friends is important, very important. I agree. Valentina says, Sailor Moon taught me the importance of friendship. Oh my God, this is so cute. Wow. Y'all know that I keep I'm gonna print it out. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I literally have you guys' comments in an email thread. I don't think people know that. I feel like people think I'm joking, but I actually do copy, I copy your username and the comment, and then I put it in an email draft, and I send it to myself. And I literally have a full, what I think is turning into a small novel of thoughts from people. I just want to print out one day, just because I feel like people just say things on an offhand, and I'm like, whoa, that's so beautiful. Which is why I like it when people comment on my videos. I really do, because it's I pay attention. I don't know. I think it's fun when people interact and have fun. Nosian says, you should put it out, Q. Sounds interesting. Okay. Tyra Rose said, there is still firm royalty like Drew Barrymore, for instance. Ooh, that's true. And then Rez says, Q, I think you're in a great space as a creator. You can make whatever oh my God. And I think that's another thing. I feel so at peace, you know what I mean? I didn't even tell y'all what my life has been doing. I really want to tell on myself. I think I will. I'll do it in a short live maybe, and I'll private it, because my life was a whirlwind. I feel like I've lived 3 years in one. I feel like I have lived 3 years in 1 year. 4 years, 4 different arcs. I have lived 4 different seasons of anime this year. And so, yeah, I feel like in terms of feeling secure to just create whatever I want, I feel like I also have that security because I feel slightly comfortable in the employment that I may or may not have outside of this. And so I feel it's kind of returning me to a piece that I feel like I have to think and have fun and laugh, you know? Rez says, okay. And then Rez says, don't be scared though. Drop them vids you got made already. I'm sure the content is interesting and useful. Yeah. Valentina says, thank you. Someone who gets it. Tyro says, Black people in tech is a little propaganda, but I'm also not bad about it. Yeah, it's like, I'm like, it's like, you know, it's like the eye emoji. It's like the, ooh, interesting. It's like, you don't know if it's good or you don't know if it's bad. I'm just watching. Eyes just open, like, what's going on? Rest said Letterboxd is dope. And then Nelson says, what about the Black luxury video? I think I was talking, okay, so I literally, what was the name of the title? The title of the video was, the title of the video was The Girl Bossification of Black Women in Tech and like Luxuries. I'm almost low-key talking about one person. Is this shady? It's like how people, the video was inspired by this girl. Again and again, if you listen to this and you know this person, please don't try anything funny. I'm going to be careful with what I'm about to say here. All I'm going to say is very ironic. Don't say what it is you feel like I don't have, just because it's going to be really, if we have to go head to head and compete and lord the things that people have or don't have, accomplishments, the things that people have or don't have, recruiters that in somebody's inbox are not in the other inbox, please, you don't want to play that game. So with that said, I just will say it was inspired by this one girl who, you know, she's on TikTok, the TikTok act, and she works at Google. And, you know, and I feel like there were some interesting words talking about, like, I don't know, I'm a capitalist, and like, I'll do anything for money. And it's such a hard discussion to have, because as somebody who grew up poor working class, as somebody who is still working class, is it bad if I say like poor people have morals? Like, I feel like people would look down on that, but it's just true. And like, there's just certain things that I probably would not do. Like, there's some people that I knew from people who knew one of the alma maters that I may or may not have gone to, I don't know, where like, you know, the sort of people that'll ask them to work on projects are like for the DOD, working on like drones, you know, doing drone strike work in like Afghanistan or Israel or Palestine, you know, and it's just like, there are some people that I know who are like software engineers. They're just like, I cannot do this sort of work. Like, I can't do this sort of work for you. Like, there are certain people who, like, certain projects they be getting involved in over at the Pentagon, like, they can't do it. Like, you know what I mean? They can't do that sort of stuff. Like, you know? And so I guess that's what I'm saying. It's like, I've been seeing some interesting things people say around like what they do in their job or what they do in their money, and kind of like maybe selling a dream that might not exist in the total reality that they are explaining. Also, some people are like, oh, everybody's going to make six figures. And I'm like, don't lie to these people. Or rather, people are lying about their compensation, or they're not fully representing their compensation package. They are not fully representing how much they are getting paid in their compensation package. Or maybe they'll even say things like, oh, everybody can work at Google. And I'm like, no. Google only employs about 155,000 people. Most of those people are out of India or China. And even fewer of those people are Black, not even to talk of Black American people. So, you know, like, I just, you know, it's like all you have to do is get into Harvard. And it's like, my God, like, not everybody can even get into a Harvard, like, you know what I mean? So just, you know, don't, you know, like, there's no need to set a false expectation. I say it all the time. I feel like the leverage that we have is more so in our labor than this idea that like few of us are gonna like get rich, you know? Yeah. Rez says, I literally was just watching a little bit of Gary Vee's video a day or two ago where he was talking about the need not to give any fucks what people think. Oh, Gary Vee. Yeah. And then I think I'll end on this and I'll dip. Kara Rose says, I heard some weird things about working for Google as a POC, and they have a low retention rate, especially for Black women. Yeah, they like in a few lawsuits. Then like Pinterest was in a huge lawsuit. They're in a huge lawsuit like 2 years ago. Like, you know, some of these companies, one of the lawsuits or one of like the complaints or like settlements they're trying to settle right now was how like some of the recruiters, like a few of the recruiters at like Google found out that what they do is like you don't go to a certain school and a hiring manager would just throw out a pile of like resumes. They just like Control Alt Delete, and they're like, well, that's a kind of a problem, right? I'll just say it because like nobody knows me like that, but like Uber, for example, I'll just throw in allegedly after the statement. Allegedly, what they'll do is they will interview a lot of like quote unquote diversity candidate or like Black people, not Asian people, you know what I mean? They're not counted as like the same as like a Latino or Hispanic person, a Black person, you know, underrepresented minority in tech. And what they will do is they will interview them so that they are quote unquote meeting compliance requirements by like the Department of Labor, saying that they actually interview these people. And then what they'll do is once they get to like the end, they'll essentially drop them out of the interview process so that they can say that, oh, well, we did interview these Negroes though, so you can't tell us that we didn't actually try. You know, or maybe if they hire you, they'll let you go, you know, in about 6 months, maybe 3 to 6 months for some sort of budget cuts. And so that it looks like, you know, they hired, but then they'll say that you didn't perform well or some wild shit like that. So it's something else. Like the stories that I have, like, oh God, the stories that I have seen. Oh, Resleon says, and how overcaring about opinions of strangers is literally holding us back from being able to be successful in the online arena of sharing our thoughts or talents. I agree. I don't say that often, but for that, I will agree. And with that, these are some 2022 predictions. I'm excited. Okay, if you're watching this video after the fact, go ahead and comment what your predictions are, because I feel like we need to make like a booklet. We need to make a booklet. 2022 predictions. So this has been Q. Thank you so much for watching another one of my tapes, a live tape, and we'll be in touch. Ciao.